your host, Andrew Romanella.
When you play Battle in Mario Kart and you don't turn off any of the items, there are bananas everywhere. I mean, it's like you're losing your balloons because you're slipping on bananas left and right. Bananas everywhere. What's going on, everybody? Hey, welcome in to another edition of The Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com, broadcasting live on YouTube, on X. How you doing, everybody? It's a Thursday. It's a great day. It's sunny out. It's June 12th, and I am Andrew Romanella, and I am here to bring you the latest and the greatest in sports. We'll be talking basketball today. We'll be talking hockey today, and we will be talking golf today. So if you're interested in any of those topics, want to give me your thoughts on any of those topics, or simply just want to tell me I'm not that smart on any of those topics, feel free to write in on the youtube.com/12OZ Sports, or the social media, The Rome Show 1. That's The Rome Show and the number 1. Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok. You know the drill. Follow us. Follow the mothership, follow the Rome Show podcast, and you have every avenue possible to watch or listen to the Rome Show. If you did not watch or listen to the Indiana Pacers versus Oklahoma City Thunder, game number 3 of the NBA Finals last night, you missed out on a fantastic basketball game. Let's throw the sports theme music on, and let's do a little recap for the people. Last night, game 3, NBA Finals in Indiana. The Pacers defeat the Thunder 116-107. A few things that happened here to make that happen right there. First and foremost, when we were on the show yesterday, we talked about how Indiana needed to come out hot in this game. They didn't, okay? They were outscored by 8 points in the first quarter. However, another key factor kind of morphing into that same thought was, what's it look like at halftime? Okay, because in the first 2 games of this series, at halftime, Indiana went into halftime just with an astronomical lead they had to get over. Now, in the first game, they did it. We all witnessed it. It was history-making, and it was awesome. But in game number 2, they got blown out the gym. Okay, and you saw a real difference between these two teams. Wow. Oklahoma City's like up here, okay? And Indiana's like here. But if Indiana plays its best basketball, duh, but seriously, Tyrese Halliburton had to be Tyrese Halliburton from start to finish. He was that last night. You needed consistent points off the bench. You had the best bench game from a player since the finals in 2011 last night, and you had to play high-level defense, and you did just that. Halliburton last night for the Pacers, 22 points on 9 of 17 from the field, 11 assists to complete the double-double. At one point in this game, through 25 minutes, he was 8 of 12 from the field for 19 points and 8 assists. He had 5 points in game number 2, okay? Pascal Siakam was the leading scorer in game number 1. We've talked a lot about this Indiana team being it's spread out type ball, okay? Well, Benedict Mathurin came off the bench last night and was 9 of 12 from the field, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, and had 27 points of the 116 for the Pacers. The bench in total for the Pacers scored 49 points last night. 45% of the points for this Indiana team came off the bench, okay? The other 35% came from Siakam and Halliburton, combining for 43. So your best players need to be your best players. We talk about this all the time. Rocky's been talking about this with Edmonton or any team in the NHL that you'll listen to. Excuse me, not Edmonton, Toronto, when we were talking Austin Matthews. Our favorite statement on this show is, in the biggest games, the biggest series, the biggest moments, you need your best players to be your best players, okay? And though Halliburton, from the totality, maybe not always the quote-unquote best player on the Indiana Pacers, he is in the biggest moments. He is when his team needs him to. And he is, by definition of what he's doing in the big games, a superstar. You know, last night, Indiana, I thought that the changing moment for them was late in the game, early fourth quarter. They went on an 8-0 run, okay? And they garnered a 2-point lead. OKC ties the game. I think it was at 98-98, okay? And then from there, Indiana proceeded to outscore OKC. I think it is 19-9. The final 8 minutes of the game. And in that moment, OKC ties the game after a run, Indiana run, and Haliburton comes down. What's he do? Bangs a three. Just like that. Those are the moments you're talking about. If you're Oklahoma City Thunder, okay, this is playing the Pacers. But there's one thing you cannot do. You can't turn the basketball over the way that you did. Last night, the Thunder had 17 turnovers. It might seem like an average amount for a basketball team. That's the most OKC has had in any given game this postseason. Look no further than that. On top of that, you had a lot of starter scoring for OKC, but not a lot of bench scoring. We talked about a key after game 2 was how good the OKC bench played. Yesterday, you only had 18 points off the bench for the Thunder. So Malherin alone outscored OKC's bench 27-18. Okay? Look no further than that. And the common adage is the bench, the reserves don't play as well on the road, and you got that right there from OKC. So now Indiana up 2-1 in this series, and after a 1-1 series tie, the team that wins game 3 is 33-8 all time in the NBA Finals. So we'll see what happens here. However, if there was a knockdown, drag out argument on the literal best team in the NBA in all the facets, I believe majority, if not everybody, would say Oklahoma City Thunder. So until Indiana gets that fourth victory, it's almost impossible to rule out this OKC team. We'll get back to the NBA Finals tomorrow as we get ourselves ready for game number 4 in Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how many people out there are golf fans, but starting this weekend, we have the U.S. Open at Oakmont in Pennsylvania. Now, I don't know how many people out there, besides the fact that if they're even golf fans whatsoever, but how many people out there have seen some of the social media content going on around how hard playing at Oakmont is. So I see this tweet yesterday from the one Justin Thomas, all right, because I've seen some crazy videos. Bryson DeChambeau put some videos out about how thick the rough was. I watched a video of some guy yesterday putt the ball from 122 yards out. He putted the golf ball. But because this course is so difficult by nature, you have to do kind of reckless stuff like that in order to make some shots. And it was sick. He ended up like 6 feet from the pin, 122 yards out with the putter. So JT had this to say. So much talk about what would X handicap shoot at Oakmont. Why don't we find a way to make it happen? Have a 5, a 10, an 18, whatever handicap, play Monday after the U.S. Open. Back tees, full rules of golf, and see what happens. May have to let a few groups through and allow 6 to 7 hours, but I think we're all here for it. No laughing face. And I got to be honest with you, I am here for it. I am so here for it. Like, that to me would be so entertaining to watch. And I mean this honestly, because I love golf. I'm going to play golf in an hour after the show ends. I try and play golf 3 times a week. It's like the love sport wise that I've probably had my whole life, that it took me till being an adult and graduating college to realize like how much I love golf. Go to the Romanella's YouTube. You'll watch me taking golf videos. It is my favorite. Okay. But sometimes you're watching these dudes perform. And I've gone on this rant before. Rome Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Go back to an episode last year around this time, I think, where some dude was like minus 32. And it's like, no, bro, that's not entertaining to me. Okay. I want to watch Scotty Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau, Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, insert good golfer, great golfer here, whatever your opinion is on their talent. I want to see those dudes hover -1 to -4. And if one of them's on a bad day, they're even or they're +1. That's what I want to see. I want to see a tournament one on Sunday where guys are fighting for, I have to hit a birdie here. Like, it's not, oh, can I get an eagle on 9 of these 18 holes? It's, can I get one singular birdie? And why I love that for golf as an entertainment vehicle is because that's what is relatable, the most relatable to the people that are out there golfing, to the fans that are watching golf. They are in the trees. They are in the rough. They are dealing with out of bounds stakes and water hazards and being in terrible sand lies. That's the common golfer. So 2 things. First, I'm amped about Oakmont, because this golf course is so difficult. I believe it gives us the opportunity for a full weekend tournament of that difficulty. But second, I'm in for what JT said. First off, how do I apply? JT, I'm sitting at a 10.5 handicap right now. So I feel like I qualify for this event. I'm left-handed. You got to have a lefty in there. There's certain vibes to left-handers in anything. In golf and baseball, left-handed throwers. Heck, you ever seen a left-handed bowler? Entertaining to watch. I'm in for this, though. And I think they should take it to a degree, a step further. All 4 majors, Monday after the average amateur tournament. That's what we'll call it. The AAT, the average amateur tournament. You can't have a handicap that's better than 5. But you can't have a handicap that's worse than 20. And then I think they open up a tournament or 2 where we can qualify for these events. So let's say they want, all right, let's do it. We're going to have 24 participants on Monday after the Masters, Monday after Oakmont or the U.S. Open, Monday after the Open, right? After the major tournaments. And then there are qualifiers throughout the country where you can qualify to be one of those amateurs, the average amateur tournament. I'm telling you, this will fly. People will want to watch that. Imagine, before we hit commercial break here, just imagine you're sitting on your couch. It's Saturday, it's Monday. You just got home from work. All right. I'm going to use my best friend David for an example. He works like reckless hours, 6 to like 3 p.m. So he's sitting on his couch at 4 o'clock. All right. Cracks open an ice cold beer, and he's getting the final 4 holes of the average amateur tournament. And why I'm using David, because David doesn't really like golf, but now you see Johnny steps up to the tee and shanks a drive, right, 75 yards directly into the houses or the fans that are watching. That's entertainment, okay? Watching a dude stand kind of behind a tree, and instead of always getting it out and landing it on the green and perfectly in the fairway, he clanks the tree in front of him, and his ball ends up behind him, because we've all been there as an amateur golfer, an average amateur golfer. So I support it, Justin. I think this could be one of the most genius ideas I've ever heard for golf. And I need to make this happen. The average amateur tournament. The Rome Show. We're trying not to be average here on 12ouncesports.com, broadcasting live on YouTube and X. Kai the goalie writes, sounds like my brother. Yo, Kai, that's low-key funny. Hopefully your brother's not listening. Actually, hopefully your brother is listening because that's an extra listener for the Rome Show. And if your brother is listening, hey, Kai's brother, write in. You can hammer him on something too. Our mothership writes in, pro golf is always more entertaining when the winner is -5 or worse over 4 days. I could not agree. Now, mothership, imagine if 12-ounce sports hosts the yearly average amateur golf tournament. We'll stream it on our YouTube. We'll get some sponsors. Huh? Hey, the average amateur golf tournament sponsored by 12-ounce sports. The winner in the clubhouse is Andrew Romanella. That's how much confidence I have in myself. And then finally, Michael Day writes in, I'm a 14. Guessing I'd shoot about a 150. And the over-under on my meltdowns or crying spells would be around 10.5. And that's the second part of this thing. Imagine, right? Imagine the betting lines. Imagine how much fun it would be to put money down on the average 15 handicap guy playing some of the hardest golf courses in the country. You're like, all right, first off, line number one would be, how long does this take? We're gonna set the bar at 6 hours, 33 minutes, and 27.5 seconds. And then the next line would be, what's the score? What is the average score, right? What is Andrew to shoot? 135. That would be entertaining. So maybe I'll talk to the people at 12-ounce sports. We'll get something going here. Kai back in it. He says, do the 12-ounce guess golf tourney. I drop bombs. Just don't know where it's going to land. And that's why this would be entertaining. Today's odds fall in the hands of Scotty Scheffler for the weekend at plus between 450 and 500, depending on the site that you're getting at. Scotty Scheffler is the world number one. He has 5 wins since last year. And he has been playing really good golf. Bryson DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy, the second best odds at 800 to 1,000. John Rahm, third best at 1,000 to 1,200. And Scotty Scheffler and Bryson DeChambeau tied for the fourth best odds at 1,200 to 1,400. If you're wondering, the top 5 golfers in the world are number 1, Scotty Scheffler, Masters champion, number 2, Rory McIlroy, number 3, Xander Schauffele, number 4, Colin Morikawa, and number 5, Justin Thomas. Don't look any further than the top 10, okay? Checking out Hideki Matsuyama, number 9, and Ludwig Aberg, number 6, as 2 potentials to possibly win this tournament over the weekend. We're going to come back after this quick commercial break. And, oh, hey, 12-ounce sports wrote in. We're selling them on the idea. Oh, hey, people, listen. I'm just saying, we let's get some traction on this thing. I need some more people to write in. It's called the Average Amateur Golf Tournament. You cannot have better than a 5 handicap to be in this, but you can't have worse than a 15 handicap to be in this thing. And we're going to put it on and we're going to televise it so everyone can watch the average person play golf on a really difficult course. I hope this isn't an average show for you here on a Thursday. We're back after this commercial break with an NHL Stanley Cup Finals Game 4 preview to finish the show. Andrew Romanella, 12-ounce sports, back after this.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12-ounce sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them. Yeah. Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
It's the Rome Show!
Yeah, the Rome Show. 12ouncesports.com. Oh, it is. It's Nico. It's the Rome Show. I'm fired up. You're fired up. I'm fired up. Hopefully everyone else is fired up. Andrew Romanella. Few more minutes left in the show here. Prior to the commercial break, we were talking golf. Justin Thomas talked about how he wants to see on the Monday after the U.S. Open this weekend a golfer with a 5, a 10, and a 15 handicap play the course and see how difficult it is. I have brought up the idea that I support that idea and that we need to turn this into an average amateur golfer tournament. And we need to do it on the Monday after every major, or because this isn't going to be how it works because they're not going to let us on Augusta because we're not special or whatever. Just nice golf courses or any PGA Tour event over the course of the year. I want to know what you think you would shoot at Oakmont if you had the chance to play. Right in the Rome Show 1, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, the mothership, 12OZ Sports, youtube.com/12OZ Sports. Final topic of the day would be the National Hockey League, and that's the Stanley Cup Finals. Game number 4 will be on tonight with the Panthers holding a 2-1 series lead. We are in Florida for this contest, 8 p.m. tonight. Here are the numbers. The odds for victory for Florida is -150. The odds for victory for Edmonton. Oh no, what am I doing? We need to make sure that we do this. The odds for Edmonton are +150. Florida is favored by a goal and a half in this contest. The over-under for this game tonight is 6.5. Here's the goal totals combined for the first 3 games: 7 game 1, 9 game 2, 7 game 3. So I don't know if you're a person that likes the streak and you're saying to yourself, I gotta keep going heavy on the over of 6.5, which is the line it's been set at for the first 3 games, or are you the opposite? You're the guy on the roulette table that if black hits 5 times, you're always betting red because you believe red's going to eventually come out, which it does. It depends on if you get that heater or you don't. Edmonton, however, has 9 of those goals, where Florida has 14 of those goals. Here are my keys to the game for Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals. First and foremost, for the down Edmonton Oilers, you can't get back Zach Hyman. And the loss of Zach Hyman, ultimately, if Edmonton doesn't win this series, won't be the only reason, but it will be a key number 1 or 1A with a 1B key reason why Edmonton was not able again to defeat the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup Finals. But the current team that they do have fully healthy has to do a few things, starting with playing their own game. You cannot let the Florida Panthers get you off your game. You're fast, you're efficient, you're trying to put people on spin wheels and create chaos. That's how good you are with your stick handling and speed skills. Don't allow the physicality and the muckiness that Florida's trying to bring to this contest to get you off your game. Gotta stay up pace, up tempo if you're the Edmonton Oilers. Number 2, you gotta win the neutral zone. Okay, because I believe a lot of the success that comes with the Edmonton Oilers is space on ice. So first, you don't want to give up opportunities going the other way because clearly your goaltending is a little shaky. But second, you want as many open space, odd man opportunities that you can garner with the scoring prowess that you have on your side of the puck. So you got to win the neutral zone because that will eliminate the chances for Florida to be in your offensive zone, which has been a real problem for your defense and goaltending. But secondly, it puts more pressure on Sergei Bobrovsky, the defense and back line of the Florida Panthers, and shifts the momentum dynamic. If you will keep allowing Florida to own 60% of the ice, you're going to be owned in 100% of the remaining games. So those are my two keys for the Oilers. And my two keys for the Florida Panthers: keep the physicality, okay? Rocky said it on Tuesday. We clipped it and put it on the Instagram. Find it wherever you find your social medias, The Rome Show 1. And he simply said this: Florida need do nothing different, okay? Someone actually commented, well, isn't that obvious? Listen, homie, nothing is that easy when it comes to winning a championship. So honestly, how many times have you seen a team go up in a series and then get obliterated moving forward? And you're like, oh, wow, what the heck just happened here? Well, they actually should have made some changes, okay? In this case, you don't. Keep being physical, keep slowing the game down, and secondly, pucks to the net. The Oilers clearly don't trust their goaltending. So if you're Florida, there's two things you want to do tomorrow. You want to absolutely annihilate these dudes with your body. As many hits and pressures physically as possible. And then secondly, same pressure concept, but with the puck. Get the puck to the net. Get the puck to the net. If it's Skinner, make him feel uncomfortable again and give up another 5 before he gets pulled. If it's the other dude, he hasn't played a lot of puck in the last 6 games. Just get the puck to the net, make him uncomfortable, and say, wow, this is almost impossible to do. Those are my keys to the game for the Stanley Cup Finals, game number 4. That's the Rome Show here on 12 OZ Sports. If you want a quick I am riding the heater. I'm taking over the 6.5. I am taking Florida, and I'm taking them at -1.5. It's the Rome Show, 12OZsports.com, broadcasting live on YouTube, X. Thanks for tuning in. Back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Andrew Romanella saying, have an electric Thursday. And peace.
Thank you for listening.